Hello, welcome to another Cities of Europe video in this Corona crisis. Our vision is to create movements of the gospel in the cities of Europe. And in times like this has a special application for our situation. I'm here with Juan Miguel Garcia and Leonardo de Cicero. I'm sorry, probably not correctly spoken, but they're both from Rome and Barcelona. In Italy and Spain, and I'm curious what they will say. Our topic is how can we make something practical? How can we help people practically in this coronavirus situation? So it's great to have you both here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Privilege.
And I want to start with Leonardo. More than any other country in Europe, Italy has been affected by the coronavirus. How is it affecting you personally?
Well, I think the main word that comes to mind is disruption. Everything was disrupted in a matter of few days. Personal lives, family lives, jobs, social lives, and church life as well. The economy, the politics, the media, it all changed all of a sudden in a matter of few days. And so I'm also going through change myself, because what I had planned before is not going to happen. What were my desires are not going to occur. And it's a lesson to be dependent on God and to rest in God and to be faithful to God in this time when everything else is moving.
Thank you. And you are pastoring a church, and you're overseeing, you're leading the whole network in Rome. So you have high-risk people in Italy. So people who are either in risk or maybe even already infected. How do you pastor a church, helping them to minister to these kind of people?
Well, with this particular challenge of the coronavirus, it is difficult to approach people. Actually, it is not advised, even prohibited to approach people. So our relational ministry needs to find new ways of being accomplished. We divide our ministries in three parts: royal, priestly, and prophetic. Royal meaning living orderly according to the will of God. Priestly, praying and being next to people. And prophetic, speaking out the word of truth, the word of the gospel. So in a sense, we have to reimagine what it means to be royal people next to our neighbors, next to the needy ones. We cannot do it by being there physically, but perhaps we can ensure that we care for them and we are concerned for them. As priests, we cannot, again, being physically present and close, but we can pray and we can really develop our prayer lives and our intercessions. And as prophets, we have to find ways of getting out the message of the gospel, maybe not by whispering or preaching in the traditional ways, but through technology, through other ways of communication. We have the challenge to be prophets in this post-coronavirus time.
Thank you. Interesting. So Juan Miguel, let's go to Spain. There are probably many challenges for you personally and your church. How do you overcome these challenges, or what do you do practically to answer them?
Well, we're still trying to figure out how we're going to overcome this. This is so new for all of us. And to me, it's incredible that such a little thing as a virus can put our lives upside down and the whole society. This is not going to be only a spiritual battle. It's also a social battle and an economic battle. And we can see all of the aspects right now going on and affecting families all over, of course, including the church. We're trying to do our best to at least identify the nature of the needs that are out there in our church and outside the church, and we have come up with this basically idea, trying to supply or provide for their physical need, social needs, which I think includes a lot of communication, and also the spiritual needs. Based on this, we're trying to figure out how to administer our time and our resources to help the church and also people outside the church. With what's going on right now, we have contacted, because we're talking also about how to take care of the elderly people or the people who aren't really at risk. And we have contacted within our church the people who work directly with elderly people and families who have elderly people in their homes, because we think that they know better where the needs are. Instead of trying to figure out what we do, let's go to the source and see what is that they need. And besides working within the church to contacting these people, we have talked to the local authorities and the local social services within our communities to see what we can do as a church and offer our help to the community in whatever they need. So it's a huge challenge right now. And we're still trying to figure out how we're going to do it. And it's going to be really interesting what's going to happen. But this is a great challenge and at the same time a great opportunity for the church to show God's love for all the communities. So it's very interesting.
Thank you. Probably one of the reactions in Madrid is the same as everywhere, or in Barcelona and the rest of Spain is the same as everywhere else in Europe. One of the reactions is fear. People feel insecure and react fearful. How do you answer, that people have fear during these days?
Yeah. One of we have talked about this and fear, and there's a lot of anxiety in people. We have talked to some people that are working in the hospitals, and they have told us that there are some people who are infected and in the ICU, and at the same time they have families in a different room that they know they're probably gonna die, but they can communicate because they can have only one visit a day. The doctor can only go in to see a patient once a day. So there are people from different families or same families, I'm sorry, that they know both of them are infected. It's a really huge deal, and they're experiencing a lot of anxiety, and this is a huge deal. Actually, we have talked to them, and they have talked to us about trying to do some cooperative work within the doctors and what we can do as a church. And they have asked us to write letters of encouragement. And since they can go to the room only once a day, they're willing to take these letters, from the church to people, just give them encouragement. And that will be something that will help them through this process. So we are trying to mobilize not only our church, but several churches to write these letters and send them through the police department and then to the hospitals. And that's something that we can do. It's not costly. We are at home anyways, and we have time to write these letters. So let's do something like that. But fear is in the eyes of people. You can see that.
Well, thank you. That's very practical and very helpful. So last question to the both of you. We as City, we have one big value, and that is we're gospel-centered. We do believe that the gospel is the answer to every question in life and in our city. So how would you personally speak something of encouragement from the gospel into this very specific situation?
Well, as for me, I would say that this crisis is a great challenge and encouragement to expand our doctrine of God. We often talk about the big God theology, the sense that God is God, God is sovereign, God is in control, God is righteous, God is holy, God cares for us. And when all other certainties fall down and crack, like the situation we're living at the moment, either we fall on our skepticism and we fall on our doubts or in anguish or in despair, or we fall or we trust God even more and we recognize that He is God. He has not been surprised by the coronavirus, and He is not out of control. And He knows perfectly what's going on, and His plans are good and holy and righteous, and they bring glory to Him. So my prayer and my desire is that through this crisis, we will be enabled by God Himself to strengthen and to consolidate our view and experience and obedience to God, and will help other people not to fall out, not to fall the other direction, the direction of doubt, skepticism, fear, and despair. The gospel is the message of hope because it speaks about a God who is in control. And although we don't understand fully what He's doing, we can trust Him because He's a personal God, He's a God of love, He is a God of justice. My prayer is that this crisis will expand our appreciation of God, of who God is, and what He does for us.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that the gospel is the hope for the world.
Yeah.
We as a church will minister, in a sense, the gospel. And this is a great opportunity for us to share with everybody uh, that Jesus is the only one that matters, and that looking up to Him is the only thing that's going to save us from everything else. So I think this is a great opportunity just to encourage people and to instill faith in people that God is still in control. You know, no matter what happens, God's still in control. And this is a great message that we have in our hands that God has trusted us with. And we have to share this with everybody that is desperate right now. I would even add that we as churches, we need to be ready for what's coming after this.
Yeah.
Because through this period, there's a lot of people who are dying, which means after this period, a lot of people is going to be going through pain, through frustration, through not understanding, and you know, loss of dear families who died during this period. There's going to be depression. The hospitals are talking about post traumatic distress, or you know. So we need to be ready to as a church in the city to welcome of these people and have a space, a room where we can minister to them and be servants to them to help them go through, you know, this process. So we must be proactive and be thinking about what's gonna this city, what's gonna need, you know, what can we do to help? Not only now, but after this, how can we be of help and minister to the city?
Yeah.
So, I totally agree. Looking up to God's eyes and the hope that He offers us through Jesus Christ. This is the answer. There's nothing else. This is the answer.
Amen.
So we have a great opportunity.
Thank you. That is very helpful. And these are two voices from our European world of City Europe. Thank you both, Leonardo and Miguel. There will be more challenging questions and maybe more conversation and answers in the future to come. If you want more information, you will find something more and other opportunities to pray for something or to help your church in this situation at our project at cityeurope.com/connect. And yeah, thank you both of you for your answers. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.